Yo, hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show. Today we have Josh Blyskal of Profound, and we'll be talking about AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. Some great stuff today. Don't be shy, guys. Let me know where you're watching from. Josh is from Profound. He was the SEO content strategist over at HubSpot at one point, and then he led the AI product, AI grader, I believe, AI website grader for HubSpot. Some good stuff, guys. We got about 7 more minutes to go. Be sure to get your questions ready. This is going to be a great one. As you know, we are in an AI search world. We want to make sure that we learn a little bit how we can get ranking into AI overviews, ChatGPT, AI mode, Gemini, all that good stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh man, I see Josh in the back. My man, Josh, can you hear me okay? Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yep, I can hear you. How's it going?
All right. Welcome, Josh. My man, Stefan. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome, Stefan. Welcome to see you back. My man, Josh, you are on the East Coast?
Yeah, we're based in New York.
There we go. We got the East Coast in the house. Let me know where y'all are watching from in the live chat. Oh, yeah. So today we have Josh Blyskal. Did I say that correctly? Blyskal?
Yeah, Blyskal like Fiscal.
We got Josh Blyskal today on Answer Engine Optimization 101. We're going to learn how to rank in ChatGPT, AI mode, AI overviews, just all that good stuff today. So AI, or is it AI or Al? Happy Friday. There we go. We got about 5 more minutes to go. So Josh, basically, I usually go over some videos in the very beginning, but we have a lot to cover, so I'm just gonna go straight into our interview. So once I get into it.
Yeah.
All right. Love it. Oh, we have AI is from Oregon. Oregon in the house. Welcome. Oh, it's Al. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Josh, did you have a chance to kind of check out the agenda and the questions?
Yeah, I got a little idea of the agenda. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Cool. Love it, guys. All right, let's get some fog up in here to get the lights going.
Nice. Now it's a party.
There we go. Don't be shy, guys. I see a bunch of you out there. Just say hi in live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Seattle, Washington. We have great topic today. Victor. Hey, Josh and Dre. Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. Happy Friday. If you're just tuning in, we have Josh Blyskal, and we'll be talking about Answer Engine Optimization, AEO, GEO, LMMO, AI search, whatever you want to call it. Oh, man.
Oh.
Ernesto, yo. All right, guys, we got 3 more minutes to go. And again, I have like 2 more copies of the SEO in 2025 book. If you want a free copy, shoot me an email at dre@seo.video. Just shoot me your address, and you must be in the United States because shipping this book to Europe costs like double the price of this book. So, guys, if you're in the U.S. and want a copy of this, it's free, guys. I'm covering shipping. Just if you want it, just shoot me your address. All right. We're live on Twitter, LinkedIn, or X, and on Facebook, guys. So if you guys are on those platforms, if you want to ask some questions, come over to YouTube because I cannot see your comments or questions on those platforms, just only on YouTube. So come over. We have Josh Blyskal today, and we'll be talking about answer engine optimization and how to rank in AIO and AI mode and all kinds of good stuff. And we'll be covering some of the stuff he talked about on his Brighton SEO talk, which is a lot of great stuff there. What's the email? My email is dre@seo.video. Dre@seo.video. Al, shoot me your address, and I will send you the copy of this book. Any plans for Father's Day weekend?
Oh man, hopefully just relax for a little bit, Take it back.
Are you dad?
Call my dad.
Are you?
No, not yet. Not yet.
There you go.
But it's a good excuse to. Oh, is it? What is it?
I'm a fur baby dad. I got two puppies.
It's kind of a nice position to be in, though.
Yep. All right, so we got about 1 minute to go. So Josh, I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute real quick. I'm going to do some quick intro stuff, and then I'll introduce you in about a couple minutes.
Let's do it.
Brother. If you're just tuning in, we got Josh Blyskal, and we'll be talking about answer engine optimization. So be sure to get your questions ready. It's going to be a great topic. If you guys are not pivoting your SEO strategy, you are going to be left behind, and you are the ones that will be saying SEO is dead. So, this, here at the SEO Video Show, this is where SEO is alive and fun. So.
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started. No delay. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO. You will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO Video Show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name's Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week. It's about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and today we have Josh Blyskal of Profound. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Al, Ernesto, Kobe, Kenneth, Victor, Carol, Stefan. Welcome everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why did the SEO cross the road? They wanted to get hit by traffic.
All right, some quick news. Google is retiring a few structured data features as part of their ongoing efforts to simplify the Google search results pages. They will be phasing out support and a few structural data features in search now. This does not mean you can't still use them. AI particularly is in the context of search and information retrieval, favors schema markup because it provides structured, machine-readable data that enhances and understands the accuracy of content. So the structured data enables AI algorithms to categorize information precisely, extract key entities and establish relationships between different data points, resulting in improved search results and enhanced AI-powered experiences. All right, so let's get on with the show. Right before we get before I introduce my guest, here's a word from our sponsor. Did you know a press release alone isn't enough? Visibility is key. You need a multi-platform strategy to share your story across news, audio, video, and social media. Welcome to Magic PR, where your press release transforms into a powerful media experience, maximizing exposure and engagement. We distribute your release to top outlets like Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, Business Insider, and more. Plus, your release is SEO optimized, ensuring better search rankings. But we don't stop there. We turn your press release into a podcast, distributing it across 25 platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Then, we create a social media content for Facebook, X, and Instagram, and even transform your story into a video press release for YouTube and top media sites. Video drives over 80% of higher engagement, and short-form content is king. We make viral videos for your YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and more. At Magic PR, we don't just publish, we amplify. Get your press release seen, heard, and shared everywhere. Visit magicpr.com today and take your brand to the next level. Now let's introduce our guest.
Josh is the former content SEO at HubSpot. He later became the AI engineer that was the product and architect behind HubSpot's AI search grader. He recently became the second hired Profound and the answer engine optimization researcher. He is a Brighton SEO speaker, data wrangler, and loves AI and its implication in search. Please welcome Josh Blyskal. Oh, sorry about that. Let me get you the right intro here. All right, let's get started. There we go.
Yeah, my man. Wait, what happened here? Hold on, let me get back. Man, all these technical difficulties. What's going on here? Let me go over here. All right, there we go. There we go. My man, Josh, welcome to the show.
It's great to be here, man. Excited to be here, man. It's exciting. Love the energy.
Love it, love it. Okay, everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right, Josh, this is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. In 1 minute or less, how does Josh get ranking on page 1 of Google?
Yeah, right now for AI search, I mean, I am an AI strategist at Profound. So what I do basically is I think about how to rank within the answer engines like Google AI Overviews, Google AI Mode, ChatGPT, Perplexity. The name of the game right now is a mixture of technical and then content optimizations. I always say that like AI search, really, if we're thinking about it, you're exercising the same muscle groups, but you're doing different exercises. So we're still playing with the same building blocks, right? Your schema, your content, your URL slugs, the same kind of channels as SEO, but we're thinking about how we use those channels very differently. There are strategies we can employ, things we can do. So I think for me, especially right now in AI search, the name of the game is content. Just thinking about exactly how to engineer content to be picked up by these engines, how to make your content visible, how to make your brand visible. That's what we're going to dive into. That's what I'm excited to share, all the inside tips and tricks here for how to do those things actionably.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. Hold on. Let me rewind this quick. Hold on. All right. Take us way back. Way back. When did you first get into SEO?
I got into SEO at HubSpot. So I wanted to be in marketing, in the marketing space, applied for an internship at HubSpot, no idea what I wanted to do. And I was kind of drafted into the SEO team, not realizing how interesting the space was going to be. I was like, all right, cool. I don't know anything about it. I know there's, Google and all these search engines, almost said answer engines. That's how deep I am in AI search right now. There's Google and all these search engines. But I had no idea what the implications were. Worked with a great team over at HubSpot. Just really learned the ropes of content SEO. A shout out to Asia Frost, Amanda Copen, Sylvan Charbit. Just some of the best leaders in SEO, some of the best mentors. But jumped into really like AI and AI engineering from that point. So you start kind of fusing an appreciation for search plus this world of AI and LLMs and ChatGPT. And then that's how you get someone who like cares so much about answer engine optimization.
Love that. Okay. First of all, so let us know, like, how'd you first learn SEO?
Oh my God. I mean, it was slow and steady. I mean, Aida Solis was great. I used learningseo.io, like honestly, just like the tried and true, just watching webinars,
Mm-hmm.
talking to team members, like doing like blog refreshes. I mean, I was in the trenches when I was initially starting with SEO, just like, look, like literally I had 3 monitors. I had 2 monitors with like 2 competitor pieces of content, 1 monitor right in the center with the HubSpot blog post. And I would audit by hand. All right, here's the literal differences. All right, this one has a table of contents. Ours doesn't have a table of contents. Write it in.
There you go.
Pass it along to the writers. I mean, there's so many little things that you pick up just doing every little kind of task at the ground level of SEO. Like if you're the one who is inputting the data, making those, data sets, really thinking about like a huge blog like HubSpot, you start to pick up on kind of the trends across the industry and things that are kind of shifting and changing. Like I remember when I started with SEO, like featured snippets were all the rage. Like that was what you wanted to do. You wanted everything to be a featured snippet. FAQ schema was really hot.
Mhm.
And just everything is just continuing to evolve. I feel like it all evolves from my understanding when I started, it's like it all evolves from there. But I mean, I
Yeah.
talked to people who started SEO in 2005 and they're like, well, it really all evolves from like, white text on white backgrounds.
Oh yeah. Okay, so kind of take us to the transition of when you started going into more of the AI answer engine optimization.
Yeah. So I jumped into the AI engineering space at HubSpot. So
Okay.
ChatGPT came out. I had joined as a full-timer at HubSpot. And the question that they had was like, Josh, do you think you would want to own whatever this like ChatGPT thing is?
Oh.
You're on the marketing team. Would that be interesting to you? Like, it's kind of this unproven technology. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but like maybe you could like give us a presentation on it like once a week.
Mhm.
That started everything down a road of like, all right, Josh is the go-to guy for SEO plus ChatGPT kind of knowledge and building prompt templates and SEO optimization automations on the SEO team,
Mhm.
which eventually just got this whole like AI practice area spun up on the HubSpot marketing team, which was really interesting. So we just started basically doing marketing enablement and like a little bit of micro apps work on
Mhm.
the HubSpot marketing team, which turned into HubSpot Search Grader. So I was kind of the product architect behind Search Grader. Basically, as part of the SEO team, they reached back out to me and said, hey, we've got this great idea for a micro app. Shout
Mhm.
out to Asia Frost. Asia Frost was like, she was thinking deep. She was like, I think AI in search is going to be a pretty big moment.
Mhm.
And I want to build this thing with Josh Blyskal. I think he knows and appreciates the search world enough as kind of an engineer who can build it, but also an SEO who knows kind of what the SEOs are going to need and what they're going to be able to monitor within AI search. We
Mhm.
released that in mid to late 2024, which was
Mhm.
exciting. I think it really came out in like July, August 24. It was really one of the first on the market in terms of tools that could genuinely in real time tell you how you performed in answer engines and search like ChatGPT. And it's been awesome ever since. Like that whole space is really starting to flourish. So it's
Yeah.
really it's exciting progression. Totally an accident. I didn't intend for it.
Love that. So now take us to the present. I mean, now you're one of the first hires at Profound, right? So I mean, what sparked behind the idea, and how did your role take shape into like this early days of you joining
Yeah,
Profound?
yeah. So yeah, I'm the second employee here at Profound. Our founders, James and Dylan,
Mhm.
they were working at South Park Commons, which is just an incubator here in New York and San Francisco. We've got a great presence in both cities. Um, the spark behind the idea was that they were sitting around one day and they just realized like we haven't Googled in 2 or 3 days. Like we just simply aren't using Google anymore. We're using Perplexity, we're using
Yeah.
ChatGPT. We can't be the only ones who are doing this. We can't be the only people whose behavior is being shifted. And that was in mid to late 2024 as well. So, AI overviews were still like, a year and a half old. SGE was like relatively, I mean, it had already happened. So it wasn't like this is totally new. It wasn't at that launch point.
Mhm.
But, we were still at a point where like, ChatGPT shopping didn't exist. We're still at a point where, browsing wasn't enabled by default unless you were a pro user in ChatGPT. So even that like kind of early infantile idea, like, all right, there's going to be people searching conversationally, someone should be tracking that, has really evolved into this space where the tailwind really seems to be behind this modality shift where,
Mhm.
Google now releases AI mode. To me, AI mode is really significant
Yeah.
because that is the idea that Google is finally willing to admit that, okay, you know what? Search, the future of search is going to be conversational. Like the conversational modality is going to win out against 10 blue links. It's not really the question of if, now it becomes the question of when and how we on ramp to that and make sure that all the incentives are aligned.
Excellent.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's the name of the game right
Yeah.
now. So that's what Profound is riding right now. That's the wave we're riding, and that's what we're excited about. Is just like tracking conversational search.
So for those that don't know Profound, like, can you briefly explain what Profound is and what it does real quick?
Profound, basically, Profound is a SaaS tool. So we're a full-fledged platform, and we enable some of the world's biggest brands, most iconic brands, to track, understand, and really tangibly improve through actions their actual visibility in ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI Overviews, Microsoft Copilot, and soon to be a whole host of other answer engines.
Okay.
We provide the data. We also provide the support, the guides, the service, and the expertise to also just go out and just crush it right now in AI search.
Oh, nice. Love that. Okay, so for those that have been living under a rock, I mean, can you briefly explain kind of what this landscape or what's changing here? I know you kind of briefly talked about it. Like, what's changing in search right now that most SEOs aren't prepared for?
Oh my goodness. I think, all right. So if there's two things. I'm going to go with like let's do surface level, and then we'll do like this like secret, like sly insights kind of side of things.
Let's do it.
All right. Surface level. I think the name of the game is going to be conversations. Like I think the world where we're tracking things based on keywords is going to be challenged quite directly. I think keywords themselves are going to have to adapt and change and maneuver to kind of fit into this new long tail world where, personalization and memories and context starts to really act as the foundation for many of these search experiences. So like, I think essentially speaking, the uptake and the transition to actual conversational chats, Forrester released, we love this study. Forrester released a study that 90% of B2B buyers are using AI chatbots in their buying decisions, which is great. It's like a lovely stat, nicely packaged. Everyone knows the Gartner stat, the 25% of all traffic is going to be reduced by 2026. That's a great stat as well. It's just like, I think at a high level, we're in a world where the shape of traffic is changing. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
High level, the shape of traffic is changing. The nature of searching, maybe if I'll even say it a little more poetically, searching used to be an end. And like it used to be the end to the means, like you used to search to get to the thing you want. Now, when you're using ChatGPT, that is the experience. Like the search is the experience of acquiring that information or doing a thing. Like we have a huge data set of ChatGPT queries. ChatGPT queries don't really start with they do start with what, like where, when, why. A lot of it is like, write me this. How do I like make this for me? Let's do this. Let's do that. I want to take an action rather than I need to know information to take an action. So we're moving everything along one step further, right?
Got it. Yeah. I just was thinking about like my queries and prompts. Like, you're right. That's exactly what I do.
I think the sly insight right now, like the secret thing I don't think SEOs are prepared for is agent experience.
Oh,
agent experience.
Okay, let's dive
I
into
love
that.
this term.
Yeah. Okay. Agent experience. Like AI agents or
AI agents, answer engines. I think that definition is very fuzzy. Like, what is an agent?
Okay.
I think we'll figure out what an agent is. I think an agent right now is anything that is doing an action on your behalf. Like, I'll keep it that broad. I think for AI and SEO, and what SEOs really need to think about is just how to make their site is like a welcoming door for answer engines and these agents to actually use and utilize fully to bring the answer back to the user. I don't think people think about the specific shift in user groups. Like the fastest growing user group right now for websites is AI agents. That's your new user group. That's the new group of people we have to think about and build into this pie, right? How we do that is up to us.
Got it. Okay. So thinking about how to do that, I mean, like, what do you think about traditional keywords based search? SEO, or is it becoming obsolete, or is it evolving? How are we researching this?
I don't think obsolete's fair. I think like if I wanted to be provocative, I'd be like, it's totally obsolete. It's totally like gone. I don't think that's the case at all. I think what we're going to see is a world where I think things are going to shift more into the medium tail. Like some of the research that we've got, at least in progress right now, is telling us that like within AI search, you could optimize for these like 8-paragraph long queries Like, I don't know, let me give you an example. It's like, I have a 6-year-old son, and my 6-year-old son loves gummy worms, but not sour gummy worms. And he has a birthday party in 6 months, and we want to make sure that we buy enough gummy worms for all 12 of his friends. Where's a good place to do that? What's the keyword, right? And like traditional search, it's like that's like a really hard thing to answer. With an AI search, that entire question becomes something of an intent rather than a keyword itself, right? The intent there is to purchase, non-sour gummy worms. I think the way that we're going to think about search in the future is if you show up for like non-sour gummy worms, as an example, you're going to win the downstream long tail as well, just as a consequence. Like we work with some brands that they come into the platform and the first thing they want to do is they want to throw in 59,000 different prompts that are every possible variation of every possible term that they've got.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's super granular, paragraph long prompts. But I think at the end of the day, it's almost like that bell curve meme. You've got like the genius on one end and you've got kind of like the simpleton on the other end. And then in the middle, you've got the guy like stressing out. Have you seen that meme before?
Yeah.
You're familiar with what I'm thinking? Yeah. It's like, I think the simple guy's like, yeah, I just kind of want to optimize for the medium tail, like kind of like non-sour gummy worms, bulk. And then the genius is thinking, yeah, all you need is the medium tail. And then the guy in the middle is like, no, you need every possible keyword, variation possible, question mark, non-question mark, period, space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, etc. Yeah.
All right. So I can't remember how Profound is actually monetized, but are you doing it by actual amount of searches, like as by like prompts that is? So
we do it by prompts.
You're
exactly.
looking for that. You're looking for that guy that wants everything.
there's definitely like a sweet spot to hit.
All right,
sure.
there we go.
It's like.
All right, so we've been calling it answer engine optimization, AEO. I mean, even in the beginning of the in the pre-show, like I was saying, AEO, LLMO, GEO. There's all kinds of different ways of what we're actually optimizing for. I mean, what do you see it as? Where is it going? Do you think it's going to stick to SEO, or you think it's going to be AEO, or what are your thoughts on like this whole?
I love
acronym?
that. People have asked me this one before. I grew up in an SEO world. I have a deep appreciation for SEO. So my mindset, there's still a good chunk of my mind that's like SEO devours all things. It'll all fold back into SEO at the end of the day. There needs to be a distinction for now. I think it's immaterial because it's like, well, first of all, I think the term should be SEO because if people are searching for things, then they're going to be using an engine and people are going to be optimizing for it. I think that's fine. I think within SEO, if I'm thinking of the hierarchy of like the world of SEO, it should be a little entry in the tree that says AEO is a subset of SEO. Like, if we're thinking about, we have to figure out the right word. I hate GEO personally because I think when I search for the letters GEO, I get nothing that I want. When I look at AEO though, I get exactly what I want. And when we think about the exact action of like what we're doing here, what these engines are doing, what they're doing is they're like I said, they're providing the answer. They're not doing the work to give the user the thing to do something. They are the full experience. They're the question, answer, alpha, omega, beginning, end. They complete the loop entirely within themselves. And so that's why I like the word answer engine, because that's effectively what these models are doing. And people have said AI optimization. It's like, we're not making AI models. We're not optimizing the performance of AI models.
There we go.
We're not also optimizing like the generative engines. I think in the future, like I'm going to give you a hot take here. The LLMs are going to get dumber in the future. Like, I don't think we should not pin ourselves into generative engines, because as we start to proliferate this search experience, the LLM is going to become an insignificant part of that experience. The more important part of this experience is I want to have a dumb, fast, really lightweight LLM that sits at the very front end that only does the language stuff. It doesn't know anything. It doesn't know who the 4th premier of the Soviet Union was. It doesn't know anything. It doesn't know anything about molecular bonds or anything. I could never ask it a question alone, because it's linked into a knowledge base and architecture that lets it get the answer it needs. And its only job is to model the language. I want to be able to use an LLM on my Apple Watch, in my SUV. I want to be able to say, hey, ChatGPT, can you please order a birthday cake directly to my house within the next 6 hours? I'll pay extra for it and invite all of, Charlie's sixth grade class to my house immediately and not have it do an API call. I want it to run natively. And I think that's like that. I think that's the future. I think GPT-5 or whenever that comes out, that's an academic tool. That's a tool for, the researchers of the world. I think people, normal, everyday people, are going to use models that, if anything, are faster and dumber than GPT 4.0, faster, dumber than o3.
Love that. So we have a comment here from the audience. SEO to me is just about helping people find what they are looking for. Yes. And you guys, people in the audience, if you have any questions, ask them anytime during our conversation. I'll address them in the order that they are received. Okay, let's get into the technical deep dive. Let's get into some of the stuff over here on the technical stuff. So what specific technical elements have helped content get pulled into answer engines like ChatGPT and Perplexity?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Where do we start?
Yes.
I think schema is always important. FAQ schema. I'm going to go like lukewarm all the way to like heated. So schema is always important.
All right.
I work with customers who still don't have any schema, still not thinking about semantic HTML. I think if we're thinking about really interesting things that help content get pulled in, there's things you can do with your robots. I'm going to just start listing. So if you want to stop me and you want more clarity, just be like, wait, hold up. That's interesting. Let's dive deeper.
And audience, also feel free to stop us too. So go ahead and ask. Okay. Shoot away.
Cool.
Let's go.
I'm a wild man. I'm just going to go for it. Robots.txt is incredibly interesting. I've seen people have really good success with redundantly just allowing certain pages on their robots.txt. They don't need to do that, right? They don't need to say OpenAI search bot, allow these random blog posts. But by signaling that these blog posts exist, it improves answer engine throughput and pickup. It's really interesting. And that's what we recommend doing with the LLMs.txt as well. So if you just release an LLM.txt and you're like, what gives? It's not like doing anything for me. It's not really interesting. Allow it in your robots.txt. You will see some pickup start. Yeah, it's a big moment. Yeah, right?
Let's go. Love
it's
it.
Quite interesting.
Drop these knowledge bombs. Keep going.
So the LLMs.txt is also an interesting piece. There was this moment, I think from like March to April, everyone was bullish on the LLMs.txt. Now from April to June, it's like LLMs.txt skepticism. I think the expectation on the LLM.txt should not be that your brand now immediately starts showing up more often in searches. I think what it really needs to be is that the LLMs are hitting the correct pages to get the information that the searchers are asking for. So if someone asks, profound about what our take is on Grok, I want the answer engine that visits my LLMs.txt contextually to know that our take is that Grok represents like a really good example of the future of how social and AI search are going to be merged. And I want to give that context in the LLMs.txt. So for me, the philosophy on LLMs.txt is that the LLMs.txt is a place to let your metadata kind of sing. Like it's a place where you're not character limited. You're not limited by the length of a meta description. You're not limited by the length of an alt tag or a URL slug. You can just talk at length about what's in each piece, who the author is, the creds of the author. It's like a really interesting area to really let that EEAT shine, right? Like, hey, this piece is really great. It's our cornerstone piece about, let's say baby diapers. It's written by a board certified pediatrician, Allison Yang, who completed her residency at Columbia. She has 19 books out about pediatrics. And this is a great piece for anyone looking to learn X, Y, and Z.
And this is this is discussed
you could
in
put
the
that right
LMSX?
in. Yeah.
In the LMS?
You could, yeah, exactly.
Okay, for those that don't understand what
protocol.
LMS, if people don't know what, let's take a step back. For those that don't understand what an LLMS.txt is, can you just quickly explain the difference between it and a robots.txt file?
Great question. I also don't know. People have been saying LMS. I'm calling it LLMs. I don't know I've heard both. No, I don't know. I've heard both. I want the rest of the industry to tell me what to start calling it. So the LLMS.txt or LLMs.txt, whichever you might call it, is a markdown formatted .txt file. It most often will live at the root of your domain. So if you're Nike, Nike.com/LLMS.txt. If you're thinking it's the same way as your robots, Nike.com/robots.txt, right? It's the same kind of interaction. In that file, the only strong requirement is that file has to be written in markdown formatting. That's it.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do with that file is up to you. So there's a spectrum of things you can do. You could go all the way from just a list of URLs, nothing else, all the way to writing about each piece of content or talking about the hierarchy of your products. Oh, the the Blyskal Labs consulting like product lives within, Blyskal Labs Plus, and that's the hierarchy of this. Like one thing we see is that we want answer engines to understand how our products work together, what the hierarchy of our brand and our business is, subsidiaries, cross-selling, different packages, things like that. We want that to be accurate, accurate pricing, stuff like that. It's a great place to test, especially since it's so low stakes for traditional SEO.
Love that. Love that. Okay. So we got a quick question from the audience here before you guys stop dropping some more knowledge bombs here. Does top of funnel content matter anymore, or is Google just going to swallow it up along with other LLMs?
I think very, very honestly, top of funnel content is probably approaching its most direct challenge ever. Like top of funnel content is going to be massively challenging. We have to figure out how to contextualize what's going to be you really have to follow the monetary incentive. What is the monetary incentive to create top of funnel content if the click-through rate, if the search experience is going to be handled entirely in engine? I think research is showing that for top of funnel queries, the click-through rates are really difficult to justify from a content production perspective. And I think it's going to make it so that your top of funnel content, I think, is going to be few and far between. I do hope that it basically, my hope is that it filters out top of funnel content only to the most essential things that a brand really wants to say at the very top of their funnel, and trying to make sure that even without the monetary incentive, the pieces of content are great. It really ends up becoming more of an influence tool rather than a direct lead gen. So it becomes more of an awareness play almost, if anything else, rather than actually getting you even on the site. It's like it's even pre-visit, which is tricky. I mean, at HubSpot, right? HubSpot's huge on top of funnel content. I mean, we love it. So it's an interesting space to be in.
Love that. Okay, let's continue on some of these knowledge bombs that you're dropping here on some of the technical deep dive. What's the next one on your list?
Yeah, next one. Yeah, let's jump in. Oh my goodness. I mean, semantic URL slugs are like the future right now, at least within AI search. So let me talk a little more about what that means, what that is. So, if you're an answer engine and you are searching the web and you're trying to understand which resource to click, which web page to visit, you're going to be, for ChatGPT at least, ChatGPT gets presented a list of URLs, meta descriptions, page titles by the Bing API. That's how ChatGPT search works. The Bing API forwards through, all right, hey, ChatGPT, here's the results. ChatGPT has to make a hard decision. It has to figure out, based on the limited data I have now, what is going to be worth my click and worth my time scraping and analyzing from the web. So ChatGPT does that by looking at, more outweightedly than anything else, the URL slug. So if you have a URL slug that is F8G9-241309, or you have a URL slug that is the dash best dash 9 dash corporate dash credit dash cards dash 2025, you're going to be providing two very different levels of context to your answer engine. Great optimization right now is to look at some of your content, look at your pillar content, because there are publishers that I've seen with great pieces of content, but it's almost like it's obscured by a layer of fog from these answer engines because it's not clear what that content's going to be.
Oh, interesting.
It's huge.
Love that.
Huge.
Okay. Let's talk more about Bing then, because you said the Bing API. So I mean, should we be optimizing for Bing more? Like, what's the difference between optimizing for Bing and Google? It's like, how can we have the balance between optimizing both Bing and Google?
It's going to be I think tactically you don't have to spend too much. We have to have Bing at least in our minds. Like, we have to give a little consideration to Bing. I don't think nobody wants to spend half of their day thinking about a search engine that represents 3% of all searches, but we've got to make sure that we're indexed. We've got to make sure, maybe using the index now protocol.
Okay.
We've got to make sure that we're at least visible. I don't think that I would undertake specific efforts to get ranking better within Bing, because there's a few reasons. One, the first reason is that ChatGPT, even though it uses the Bing API, it really does not give any care to the rankings that Bing ascribes to content within that Bing API. So we saw across the Bing SERP and the ChatGPT search results, only 26% alignment between the resource that it chose and the top ranked Bing results, meaning that ChatGPT sees this list of URLs and it's not picking the top ones. It's plucking from the SERP
Mm.
almost at random, whatever it thinks the best value is for the search.
Mm-hmm.
Which is totally different than Claude. Claude is using the Brave browser,
Mm-hmm.
and Claude is super basic. It just picks 1, 2, 3 right off the Brave browser. Whatever you're doing in Brave to rank, you win in Claude just by winning in Brave. So ChatGPT is doing a totally different thing. If you want to see like really interesting, if you want to check it out, look up WebGPT, like literally Google WebGPT OpenAI, or you could ChatGPT it. And you'll be able to see a web page it's a study slash like an academic paper released by OpenAI in 2021. That technology called WebGPT is not ChatGPT's search browser. It's actually the agentic model that decides what content to pluck out of the Bing search. It is the actual, in those like alien movies where they like unmask the final villain and it's like a little guy sitting in a tiny little chair controlling everything. It's like almost like the Wizard of Oz. Like that's the WebGPT is that for ChatGPT. ChatGPT is this huge behemoth, but there's this little GPT-3 bot actually controlling the clicks and the visits from ChatGPT, and that's WebGPT.
Oh, guys, knowledge bomb right there. We got to, I put the URL in the live chat, so be sure to check that out. Is that the right URL? It's OpenAI. It was created in 2021. Yeah, December 16, 2021. WebGPT.
Yeah, it's the one. That's it.
Wow, it's been out for quite some time now, so check it out.
Free ChatGPT.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Love that.
Nobody cared about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's go into you spoke about Schema, right? I mean like are these answer engines like use structured data like Schema all the way? Like is it like because there's a couple differences here. Like I actually mentioned this in the very beginning on how Google's like cutting some Schema markups up. So it doesn't mean like you shouldn't use it. They're just not going to acknowledge it. But there's also schema.org, right? Schema.org has a lot more Schema markup parameters and stuff that you can use rather than Google. So kind of like, can you talk a little bit more about Schema and how?
Yeah, I'm definitely not like a Schema fiend, but I do have some early initial perspectives.
Okay.
The deal is this: it's like there's almost 2 layers of optimizing for answer engines. One is like marketing yourself well enough on that SERP kind of thing that ChatGPT wants. You're marketing the cover of the book to get the click. Then the schema itself is so there's 2 things. The schema actually gets you onto that list where, ChatGPT can pluck you out of the Bing results. And then once ChatGPT does visit you, so it's kind of like both ends of the search experience, then you want that data to be accurate. You want that pull through to be as detailed as possible. You want to offer as much context and as much detailed information to these answer engines as you possibly can because you have their attention. You have earned ChatGPT's attention. You don't want to squander that, which is where your schema.org, which is where your broader schema also comes into play. Things that we're seeing working, like author schema, is really interesting. That's working quite well. As far as anything else, I don't have too much of a deep perspective on like schema, like specific schema to include versus not to include. I think the inclusion of schema as like a binary, like you should do it, is like a strong recommendation. I mean, I definitely recommend it. I mean, I'm pretty much a broken record. I don't know anyone who wouldn't recommend it or recommends against it, but it's still something that's excellent to do. And that technology and that tactic is great.
Love it. Yeah, I do have some Schema haters out there that just hate Schema, but I was like, there's some. I feel like it's something, at least for the answer engines, at least, maybe not for SEO, but answer engines is totally different. Totally different color. Yeah. Love that. Okay, let's go into like more of like metadata, like titles and descriptions. How have they been playing a role in like the answer engines for you? Like, let's talk about that.
Huge. So we were working with a customer in the corporate card industry, and they wanted to rank as the most cited article, right? And that's something we could show in Profound. So we can show you, based on your industry, who the most cited pages are, who the most cited domains are, which is really great because if you're working with this black box, if you can see the outcomes from the black box, if I can see the people who are winning, if I make my pages look, function, are built closer to these winning pages, naturally, likely within time and applied at scale, my pages are going to start winning just like these top pages are winning. And the better thing to do is to look at those top pages and actually way outdo them. But that's a whole different story. We could talk about what that actually entails. So we're working with this company in the corp card industry, and they're like, we want to rank number 1, be most cited. And we're like, that's great. This is awesome. We check out all the top cited pages in corporate cards.
Mhm.
And what's really interesting about these top pages is that each one of the top pages, and they're from a wide variety of domains. There's like your nerd wallets, expected. That's like totally normal.
Mhm.
But then there's like, it's not like the points guy. It's almost like natescards.com, like no SEO cache, no traffic. It's like, what's Nate doing here? Like, what? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, check the meta description in the title. The reason that I'm just making it up, but the reason that like your Nate's card kind of domain, this random domain that's super well trusted, is showing up is because in the meta description, instead of saying something like explore some of the top corporate credit cards, we see the top 5 corporate credit cards are the Amex Platinum, the Chase Ink Business, and the Capital One Cash Rewards. Check out the list of 12 more here. It literally offers the answer engine's value right up front.
Oh. Dang, it makes sense, right? That does make sense. And it would see why I brought up. So I think people should really kind of like rethink how they write their meta descriptions. Like provide answers.
You provide answers. Say, hey, answer engine, looks like someone's probably asking what the best corporate credit card is. You want a page that does that? Check it out. I gave you 3 answers right here. You want to click and find out the rest? That is like gold for the answer engine. The answer engine's like, okay, that's worth a click. Let's go explore that page. And then that perspective becomes the default.
Love that. All right. Let's get that. What's more? Is there any more on the list that we missed? What else we got
Oh my
here?
gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's something really interesting about like, I'll give you like a little fun one. This is just a weird thing we're noticing, right? So when you put like a 7-paragraph query into ChatGPT, right? It's like super long, super detailed. The interesting thing about that query is that that's not the actual query that ChatGPT uses, right? You're going to ask like, I want the best men's running shoe because I've decided to start taking up marathon running and I'm going to run every Saturday and I want to run 6 miles. What's the best shoe for me? And ChatGPT is going to read that and be like, cool, thanks. All right, the search is going to be best men's running shoe 2025. That's the search. You don't own the search. Your query is not the actual search that ChatGPT performs. So what you're optimizing for is what ChatGPT decides that you're searching for. ChatGPT will take your big paragraphs and it decides, all right, I'm going to pass best men's running shoes 2025 to the Bing API and get those results. That's like huge, like crazy, right?
Yeah.
But even crazier is that between 40 to 60% of the time, ChatGPT chooses to append the year term 2025 to the end of any of its searches. Can we see what the implication is? It means that pages with the title tag that have 2025 in them, with the URL slug that has 2025, and meta descriptions that have the literal, 2025, the characters directly in them, simply get cited more often, rank better, and are more influential in AI search simply based on the inclusion of the term 2025, because that's what ChatGPT is trained to send off to the Bing API. Huge.
Damn, you're killing it, brother. All right, so I love that. So, but the thing is here, I mean, I understand the 2025 part, but like putting in the URL is kind of like, as an SEO, that's something that we don't do. we just don't want to do that.
No.
But you're saying it is, even if people are still like the ones that are putting the year in there are actually
they win.
Oh wow. That creates an
it's a painful trade-off because you're gonna be 301 redirecting that next year. It's just a whole thing. It's terrible. Or you have to come up with a new one. But it's it does work right now. It does work. Like
got it.
That's some of the stuff is like the folks who built ChatGPT are very. It's not that they're some people say they're irreverent to SEO. I don't think that's the case. I think the ChatGPT RAG mechanism is really just an academic tool that's meant to be performant. Like they're not thinking about over optimizers like us. They're not thinking about like what SEOs are going to do with it. They're thinking, how can I make a performant RAG methodology that like accurately gets websites? And so they're like, yeah, of course we're going to append 2025 to the end of 40 to 60% of search queries because like we want recent results. When someone asks what's the best restaurant, they want the best restaurant this year. Like that'd be great. The implications are that like there's going to be baked in biases in some of those searches. Yeah, it's interesting.
Love that. Okay, what about, let's say, internal links and like the content depth of things? Like what are your thoughts on that? Do you think this is playing with LLMs and
Internal links are interesting. I don't think the link, so it's really interesting. If you're doing backlinks and backlink strategy,
Mhm.
I don't think the link itself matters besides being like a a point of interest in the HTML. Like, because the answer engine can see the HTML. It's like, oh, that's cool. There's a link there. But
Okay.
more importantly, the word being there, the semantic word of like,
Mhm.
if I was Nike and I wanted Nike to appear in a listicle, and they
Mhm.
were like, well, we can only give you a mention of the brand name Nike. We're not going to give you a link to your homepage for whatever reason.
Okay.
Sure. I would still be happy with that because semantically we still appear
Mhm.
and the answer engine is going to see us roughly in the same way.
Mhm. Got it. Got it. So speaking of listicles, what are you? I mean, I think that's like the
Oh
most
man.
common. That's the most common tactic. I
Oh
feel like
man.
everyone's been talking about, right? Like, hey, just create a listicle, create a best article, and throw your company in there, and you'll get reference. I mean, give us some. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, is it working? Is it? I mean, do you see this just being abused, or what are your thoughts on this?
It's working, and I do see this as being abused. That's correct. You're correct. As with anything in SEO, this is what's in vogue right now. Like there's always that strategy that like everyone gives the side eye because yeah, it's gonna work. And the question really is like how well, how long, and like how deeply. Like I think right now we have a data set of 177 million citations. Like if you caught my Brighton SEO presentation,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. It's like
Yeah,
it's a massive scale.
yeah.
We know that listicles account for 32.9% of all citations, which is the
Oh,
most cited single group of content. The second most cited, to show you how big the
okay,
gap is between number one and two,
okay.
second most cited piece of content is all blog and opinion pieces at 9%. So it's a
Oh, okay.
huge chasm. It's like the chasm is
So
massive
listicle.
between your listicles. So the reason listicles work is because answer engines, there's a few things. One, answer engines are trying to create a marketplace out of answers. In
Mhm.
the answer engine ideal world, the way that these little guys think about the world, they want every brand to basically create a page that compares its products to all other competing relevant products so that when a user says, what's the best men's running shoe? The answer engine doesn't have to go to Nike, to Puma, to Adidas, to, you know, whatever, any of the underarmor.com, scan through all the PDPs and form its own opinion. It can just steal kind of this like marketplace result that is just like this source of truth and say, all right, I'm going to pull number 1, 2, 3 off of Billy's list here and then send that to the user and say the best one is the Nike Airfly 6 and the Hoka, like the Hoka 7s or
Mhm.
whatever. And these are the best men's running shoes. Here's my source. And you click it and it's like the exact same thing, but that's because the answer engines are lazy. So there's this pressure towards marketplaces. And then I think secondarily, there's this world where, answer engines are trying to, um, you know, create consensus, I guess I would say, is
Mhm.
like the reason there's this new strategy that people have been talking about where you create a listicle,
Mhm.
you put your brand as position number one in the listicle, and you create a LinkedIn Pulse article
Oh yeah,
that
that's
is the exact same thing.
yeah.
It's this classic strategy because it exploits kind of both of these things at the same time of like you're creating this marketplace, and because you're doing it on multiple sources, they look
Yeah.
like they are two distinct sources of truth that are aligning with each other. And the
Mhm.
answer engine therein is like, great, this is the truth in the industry. I'm going to
Yeah,
forward
yeah,
this on. This will change. I think this will change. I think this will change in the long term. But I think right now, it's not a bad idea for
yeah.
people to at least test out to see, hey, what can we do for our brand, at least with one or two listicles?
Mhm.
Let's just try it. Let's see. And worst case scenario, I mean, it's not like we're trying to drive that much traffic with the listicles. We're really trying to drive influence and visibility. So it's an interesting strategy. I think listicles really are really like the Cadillac of AI search content right now. Maybe
Love
soon
it.
to be like, maybe soon to be like a beat up old like Chevy eventually, but we'll see.
There we go. There we go. Okay, guys, we're coming close to the end here. If you guys have any questions, be sure to ask them before I ask my last few questions here. But let's. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, are you able to kind of show? I mean, because I've actually been talking about Profound on my show, like letting people know, like this is the one that people are actually, well, at least what enterprise companies are using to like track searches and stuff like that. Are you able to kind of give us like a quick like inside look of what it does by sharing your
Oh, you
screen?
bet. You kidding? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
Let's do
yeah, oh
it.
yeah. Okay, you can go ahead and share
Yeah,
your. You can go
I'll
ahead and
love
share
to
your screen.
demo it.
All right, yeah. Let's check it
Absolutely.
out.
I'll jump in and share. Let me see. I'm gonna pick. I do. me do one here. I'm going to pick a configuration here that looks pretty nice. And we'll do corporate credit cards. I love corporate credit
Okay.
cards. It's the one I love to use. All right, here we go. Screen sharing. Let's do it. Let's jump in. All right. Welcome to Profound, everybody. I'm going to jump right in.
Mm-hmm.
Profound is a tool that, as you know, we're monitoring answers across each of these major answer engines at the moment: Perplexity, ChatGPT, AI Overviews, Copilot. We're tracking any of the topics that you decide. These topics are just predetermined right now. We just threw these topics in just to get an idea of some of this visibility. The first thing that we show in Profound is your visibility score. So your visibility score is the percentage of the time that you're actually showing up in AI answers. So this is basically saying, for Amex, imagine your brand here. For your brand, XYZ, you are showing up in 55.7% of all AI responses about your industry as dictated by the topics that you put in. And we run those topics. I mean, just over the last 7 days, we ran 6,500 prompts on behalf of Amex, theoretically here. And you can even go in our platform and audit each of the actual prompt responses and completions and see, these are the actual citations that are influencing it. And these are the brands that are mentioned. Everything's also exportable, which is really cool. We just released our API. We've got the ability to filter down into your different topic areas. I'll make this real quick. You can see each of your different topics, but I think even more cool, even more interesting, you could even go in and understand. So if Amex came to us and said, Josh, we need to win for this exact prompt. I need to know that Amex will always be mentioned 100% of the time for most effective corporate credit card options. We can do that. We can show you that. So right now, what I'm seeing, Amex is 71% visible in ChatGPT for that prompt. Amex is literally always mentioned by Perplexity. It's got a ton of mentions from AI Overviews. It's not super mentioned by Microsoft Copilot. We can see the completions, and we can even see the citations. These are the sources of truth that influence what brands show up for this prompt. Being mentioned here is the reason that Amex's visibility is even so high in the first place. We can go through all this. We can show you by platform how visible you are, by regions. And my favorite page of all is the citations page. This is really where you start to build out that, here's the source of the truth. Here's who's influencing the narrative. Here's the NerdWallet, right? NerdWallet, all their top pages, which platforms get cited, which platforms cite them, and then each of the individual pages, along with analytics on how often you're mentioned in those pages. So this one they're mentioned on, but hey, this Tech Republic page is a great opportunity because Amex isn't even mentioned here, and it's the second most influential page in the entire corporate credit card world. And when we work with PR agencies, they come to us and they say, what? This list is so different than anything that we've seen before, anything we've ever recommended a client, because these news articles are not your Forbes, not your New York Times, not your Business Insiders. Totally different. I'm going to jump through this one last thing. Okay. We've got this really, really cool new area of the platform we just released. It's called Conversation Explorer. This is the industry's first real keyword volume tool. We are able to actually view real keyword volume from ChatGPT in real time across a week by week for something like, let me look at Memorial Day. You'll see it. It'll peak during Memorial Day. It's great. It's just my favorite little calibration to do. We'll jump in. We'll start in February. We'll go to June. We look here. Boom. Memorial Day jumps up. This is what people are actually searching on ChatGPT, and this gives you the ability to prioritize everything that you're tracking. We put so much love and care into creating this data set. This has been this is the pride of the business. It's a really exciting product.
Can a customer just get access to that through an API, or is this something that has to be part of the whole suite as you get onboarded?
This is part of the whole suite. This is one of the newest features, so you have to be on the enterprise plan to get it. But if you're interested, please, we'd love to demo you. Just reach out. We're also super early stage, so there's plenty of room to try to get everybody in here. We don't want to gatekeep AI visibility. This is a space we believe every brand is going to need to get invested in. So happy to demo anyone here. Just jump in, say you came from the show today. We'll get you in there on a demo.
Oh yeah, you heard that, guys. Mention the SEO video show and you can get all this information demoed for you. I'm curious, does it integrate with other software like Google Search Console, Searching for Screaming Frog?
Yeah, the plan is for, let me see, am I on camera here? Am I visible here?
Yeah, you can come back. Try to come back on.
Let's see here.
All right,
Beautiful.
let me get back on here as well. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
So, all right. So we have a quick question here from the audience. How does Profound deal with the complexity of actual LLM queries as opposed to old way of tracking keywords?
Yeah, for the Conversation Explorer, basically what we're doing is we're clustering those topics up into those like parent topics. So everything related, like we just started this tracking. We get tens of millions of queries every single month piped into our system.
Wow.
So the way that we're basically doing it is like everything about Memorial Day is basically ascribed up into this like topic level kind of parent phrase match version of it. And then every variation is just encapsulated. But I think honestly, with tracking long tail prompts, you really need to be flexible. You need to have a lot of grace for the differences in how those prompts are going to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's still something that I think the industry is working out. Like, I think right now, the broader the match, the better. Like if you're trying to track keywords in AI search, you're really going to look for, the relatives, like how often that keyword's mentioned per query, how important it is as the subject to some of the sentences. Like we basically use a bunch of different models to identify, like out of a 7-paragraph question, what's the real keyword there? It's a really interesting infrastructure. We got great data scientists doing some work there.
Love it. It's the last question here from the audience. What has HubSpot been seeing works as the search landscape is changing?
Oh man, it's been a while since I've been at HubSpot, but what I can say is that I believe that they are some of the most cracked SEOs out there. I think what they are doing and their adaptability to the space is, I think they're probably I know that they're meeting the moment with tons of different types of content, things like micro apps. Shout out to Amanda Copen, who's leading the micro apps over there. Understanding that people are looking for experiences that do things and really getting ingrained into products and really high quality experiences in a way that an LLM can't even replicate itself. I think that's the future of your top of funnel. It's like, how do we even beat the LLMs at the experience side?
Oh, I love that. Love that. Great things to think about there. Okay, so we are actually at time. We pretty much covered a lot of things here, guys. And for this last question I asked all my SEO professionals to come on here, if someone wants to get into the SEO game, become an SEO professional themselves, what would your advice be to them?
Oh man, I hope you haven't heard this before, but just start testing stuff, just start breaking stuff, especially in AI search. All you can do is break stuff right now. I know that's probably super common. I think the advice I got that really started me on my path was to create a site and see how you can populate that site. With AI search, the pickup times are like on the scale of days. You could ostensibly create a personal website, brand yourself as the world's best version of whatever your title is, put a LinkedIn post out there and see the results the next day. Like do it, try it. It's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. I did just that. If you search who is the YouTube SEO king or who is the king of YouTube SEO, I threw up a quick site, was ranking within 24 hours in AIO and AI mode. So check that out, guys. If you want to check out the test, I'm actually running a live case study. If you want to search that, who is the YouTube SEO king or who is the king of YouTube SEO. All right, so for this episode to feel complete for you, how can people get a hold of you? Any last comments for the audience out there?
Yeah, email me at josh@tryprofound.com. That's my best spot. I mean, honestly, if you just get in touch with Profound and ask to talk to me, we're still a small, lean team. We've got about 25, 30 of us. We can chat. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, connect with me, talk. I mean, right now we're at the stage where we want to be talking to everybody. It's a really interesting space. We just want to talk about it. It's a great place to share. We're happy to share with you. So excited to be here.
All right, love it. I'll definitely
Thanks for having me.
Everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right, Josh, can you hold on for one quick second?
Yeah.
All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to visit our sponsor, magicpr.com. And don't forget to check out my live case study on AI overviews and AI mode. Just search who is the king of YouTube SEO or who is the YouTube SEO king. Until next time, I'll see you guys next week. Peace out. Oops.